Greetings, Jedi Traders. David here of TradingFibs.com to bring you the daily trend for week 9, day 1, February 27, 2017. As always, please seek financial advisement when trading with your money, as these videos are for educational purposes only, to support your knowledge in the market. See what's going through my head on any given day. Always make sure you have a solid trading plan and always manage your stop when placing a trade. All right, Jedi Traders, pre-market trend. Let's jump right into it. Look at some of the key charts today that took us once again, that's right, once again, 11 out of the last 15 trading days, hitting some all-time highs again on the ES and the YM. NQ lagging behind, kind of a grind, 4 or 5 range bars moving over the course of 3 hours. Didn't exactly make it a momentum day, but surely the drive on the move upside, finishing on the gold, yen, and euro really were the markets to watch today, as the VIX closed out at 1209. That's right, 1209 upside. Crazy, right? Markets upside, VIX upside, with core sector list 20 in the green and 5 in the red. Before we get to the pre-market, again, at some point today, markets were all showing green. Every time on the screen share, when I see the top row, which is the gold, the yen, and the euro, crude in the upper left, but in top 3 here on the right versus the U.S. indices on the bottom, when we're all traveling in the same direction, one of these markets has to go, one of these sets has to go, and sure enough, it was the top row to let it go to the downside, and so gold, yen, and euro with a nice move to the downside. All right, let's take a look at that pre-market trend. 15 minutes prior to each daily session, the daily outlook, taking a look at what Econ highlights for the day. Current price at the time, 53.31 after an overnight chop, and we were sitting in a downtrend below the VWAP. Again, overnight session, never indicative of where price action may lead in the next session. We were looking up to 53.51 upside here, as we saw pre-market. Price action there was that 53.51 upside. Resistance, anything to the downside. Surely we have plenty of open gaps and plenty of levels to contend with, but NQ running it up exactly to about 53.51. So nice move for the day. ES 15 minutes prior, we were looking at 23.63 was the current price, with our Globex high and low, with an overnight chop and a downtrend right before market below the VWAP. Looking at 23.67.75 and 23.90, pretty much right in between 67 and 75. We close out the day. There was our picture pre-market. So looking back upside to retest these upper levels of resistance on both the 60-minute and the 15-minute chart. As we can see, bigger picture on the range chart, still holding upside, and we'll take a look at where the current technical momentum is after today's session. All right, so that was our daily trend. Also, make sure you check out the technical momentum outlook, which has the 4-hour and the daily charts, as we post here every day in the daily trend, including the weekend outlook. We'll go ahead and show you those quick, brief charts. But again, bigger picture, nice to know where the bigger levels lie. All right, so once again, records high there for today on the YM and the ES. As Econ highlights, pending home sales severely downside, everything leading in to tomorrow's State of the Union. We'll go ahead and take a look at what is up on the Econ calendar for tomorrow. All right, it was the E6E in the AM session. Nice move here. You can see the fib retracements again. There it is. Price action pulls back 61.8. Bang, bright action, price action above the 51.44, above the VWAP, giving yourself a nice trend upside. Again, no levels here, just a matter of continuing trend, and it was the 6E to the upside. ES, again, trouble session this morning. Little pockets of trend both ways up to the mid-session. Probably the best move of the AM session right here at around 10:30, 1 hour pre-European close. But again, some nice moves right above the cloud. Again, if you took the move to the downside here, you might have gotten you caught. So I'm not saying you left the ES this morning without a small loss. But again, about 5 setups there on the ES this morning. But again, nothing until close to the European close, making it a choppy morning to get going. 6J PM session, nice move to the downside on the yen as price action finally in the move to the downside. VWAP 51.44 smooth. Again, a couple of pockets of uptrend in the AM session as well. GC, looking at the first close there around 130, price action on the GC to the upside, thinking, yeah, this was a nice uptrending move. 50 above 144. Makes a quick turnaround on the MML reversals on the 15-minute. Price action moves back downside. Maybe you got yourself in a little bit of an entry after the price action crossed through the cloud. 51.44 EMA overlay from a 1-minute chart. Price action maybe even held off before the VWAP, and then you jumped in. The question is, how far are you going? Well, major support resistance holding up here at 12.57.8. And GC, completely in trend, works its way all the way back down. Yeah, nice move on the GC. Whether you got the entire move from the top to the lows here around 12.51, or at least you entered after the VWAP, getting a piece of the pie on the GC to finish in the market to the downside. There it was under the VWAP and holding out to the lows around here at 12.51. So pretty much a solid two-trend session here for the U.S. markets. All right, I wanted to point out, give a shout out here to the 1-minute chart. Again, why I love that 51.44. I take the chart, I overlay it on the range chart, but here you can see adding in a 270 SMA, nice level of support. But again, the big picture is the 51.44. When you look at that on a range chart, gives you a sense of confirmed trend. But again, to appreciate how each of these moving averages holds support or resistance to the downside, as we can see here, holds to the 144, maintains the uptrend, 51.44 above the 270 SMA for the most of the session here. Again, this is a 1-minute chart, but from the euro close, numerous attempts to break downside. Nope. Clearly, the indicator here is that the NQ was in a solid trend upside. And sure enough, the NQ did hold up for the remainder of the session. Mid-session, euro close, not much move there. And finally popping to the upside at the close, 51.44 off the 1-minute chart, holding above the VWAP. So that 1-minute chart in a smaller captured picture here on the range chart. But when you look at the time frame of that 1-minute chart, when we're talking about 4 or 5 bars here, trying to get moving here and then taking it about 3 hours, surely momentum traveling in the fast lane was not on our side. NQ with a nice first move downside. So there's your first solid trend to the downside. Again, a little pocket here up to VWAP. You're holding off. Price action starts to move downside. You hold off. You say, I'll wait for that 2 bars to get me in trend. Price action then gives you another opportunity. 2-bar setup to the downside gives you a scalp. You wait till the VWAP, maybe you get a little piece here, you're stopped out, and then you get your final setup here if you decide to sit through 3 hours of just slow grinding price momentum. Taking a look at the ES price action again, we went over the same picture here. Nice move downside, a little pocket up here. And there's your 2-bar confirmation. You take the entry, it doesn't go in your favor, so possibly a loss there on the ES. Price action comes down. Again, it's not the only thing you're looking at. You're looking at market internals. You're looking at the AD line. You're looking at the tick count. Maybe another indicator to see if price action truly is headed in that trend, and maybe that holds you off. I can't tell you that right now. All I can tell you is right now, looking back on the chart, again, solid setup, but maybe just the trend not moving in our direction. But again, there it is, back upside, and ES to the Globex high up here with the open here at 63.75 and up to 68.50. All right, let's jump into the open gaps up here. Market opening up here at 32.75 today. Again, each of the indices closing upside from today's open. 770 on the YM and 63.75, holding above 66.75, 617, but just managing to close below the all-time highs here on the ES and the YM. Not really being able to get up there. Open gaps down below 32.50, 646 and 48.75. Taking a look at those key charts as we just saw. Again, we looked at the GC, 6J, nice move this afternoon after a little bit of a rocky overnight session. Nice move to the downside, highest probability entry. Just a weird day, guys, for a Monday. Volume absolutely not at its highest as the 6E again. Nice move back to the downside after maintaining, for the most part, an overnight session, so pretty much finishing out at the flats. Crude falling, coming back down as price action here. Globex session gets a nice lift Sunday night, overnight, and pretty much pulls back on a long tail, retesting the VWAP and holding down. I'm not sure one was able to hold on if they had their stop at break even. All right, rolling into tomorrow's session and Globex. Where do we sit? Let's jump into the YM. YM price action holding above the 51.44 here, up at 781. Again, we look at the 60-minute chart and the 15-minute chart to get a closer short-term pick, as today we found that resistance up here at 830. So tonight, Globex session, look back down to 781 for support. If we somehow lose support there, we'll look down to 703 and 742 before we get to those lows on the 60-minute chart, all the way down to 703, 625 on the range charts. Taking a look at the ES, 60-minute, 15-minute, and the core chart. Price action back to the upside. We'll look to 71 before we break 67 here in the 15-minute chart. Anything to the downside, we'll be looking at 63. 59 would be the next level down on the 60-minute chart if we were to break that all the way down to 51, 56. Again, 15 minutes prior to price action in the morning, after watching the Globex session, we'll give those intraday levels as the range chart continues to hold 50 above the 144. And as over the weekend, we looked at the daily price action still holding up above the 50, 10, and the 200 SMA. The 4-hour chart on a bigger MML holding up all the way at reversal. Again, here we see 3 days of resistance here, 23.69. Our most likely first level downside will be 59.38 if we manage to roll down. All right, finishing up on the NQ 60-minute, 15-minute, and course setup. Price action up here, 51.56 down to 12.50. Taking a look up here, 51.56 as we sit here at 41. 32 to the downside as resistance here on the NQ holds up here at 312.50 to the lower ends. Again, we're looking up to 90, 91 upside. So again, NQ, any pullback, we'll look first to 12.50, but before we get there, we'll see 32. Again, overnight session don't typically move as much. So 32 to the downside, 51, 52 to the upside. If we break downside, we'll be watching 53.12. Anything up to the upside, 61 up to 90. All right, looking to tomorrow again. We've mentioned over the weekend, big week here for the economic calendar. Besides multiple Fed speakers, we got the GDP, 2 red star events tomorrow, S&P. We got PMI, consumer confidence, enough to shake up the market. Also, farm prices in the afternoon and in the evening, State of the Union, which should lead out the rest of the week with some good volatility. Non-farm payrolls not until next week. We end the month off tomorrow, as well as I believe the Snapchat IPO coming up at the end of the week. All right, that is concludes an insight into the daily trend and technical momentum of the indices and key future markets. Feel free to stop by at tradingfibs.com or any of my social media outlets to obtain more information. My mantra, one simple strategy, any market, any chart, any time frame will keep you disciplined. You can find me every day on Twitter at Trading Fibs, and as always, I leave the crystal ball to the experts. I only watch what's in front of me and on my charts, and as always, leave your buys at the door when trading. For those of you that are interested in joining us, our community of like-minded traders seeking those highest probability setups, feel free to email me, David at tradingfibs.com. You may join us any Thursday or Friday to view the live chart setups as they happen in the trading day. All right, Jedi traders, have yourselves a blue zone day wherever you may be. Make sure you check out the pre-market trend 15 minutes prior to the market open as I posted here at Trading Fibs. Technical momentum outlook for week 9 posted here at See It Market. And hey, tomorrow, fresh start, new day, fresh start, as Ben would say. GC, trend of the day. That was it. Hey guys, have yourselves a good night, good day, and good trading to you.